How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be talking about some training fundamentals that I came up with to help you guys in the gym. Now, before we get started, I want to clarify that these training fundamentals aren't something that you're going to find in a book, something that you're going to find online where it's like these are the top 10 fundamentals that you had to carry over through lifting. These are things that I just compiled that I think will really benefit you guys. Help make sure that you're in the best possible position to keep yourself safe and get the most effective workout as you possibly can. The first thing I want to talk about, guys, is any type of pressing movement for the lower body. So for the lower body, it's very common to press through with your toes rather than having more of a balanced foot. Something that I see on a daily basis, stuff that I'm working with people on constantly, and I found that the easiest way to help fix that is through a TRX. So I'm going to show a video right now of me on the TRX practicing driving through my heels. Now, by no way, shape, or form am I saying that perfect form is to drive completely through your heels without any assistance from the toes or the lateral or medial aspects of the foot. What I am saying though is that to help get off the toes, transition to the heel, and then it'll be easier to kind of counterbalance it, and that way you get a nice even distribution throughout the foot. You're not pressing entirely through your heel, you're not pressing through your toes the most by any means at all. Pressing a little bit more throughout the heels, but keeping a good balanced foot and pressing through the whole foot in general. Having that balanced foot is what's going to be optimal for your training session. The next thing that I want to talk about is wrist position. So whenever you have a bar and say a bench press, shoulder press, whatever it is where you're having some sort of pressing movement with a bar, you want to make sure of the way that you have your wrist position. I showed a couple different ways in the training video that I'm going to list on here of how to and how not to keep your wrist. So you want to make sure that you don't bend the wrist back. You want to make sure that you don't bend the wrist forward to the sides. You want to make sure that you have a completely nice straight wrist. That way, as you're pressing through the bar, it's not going to create any type of wrist pain, wrist injuries, anything like that. You're going to keep your wrist safe long term. The next thing that I want to talk about is how to pick up a weight properly. It's not funny, guys, but I see this quite often. Same thing as like the driving through the toes for leg movements. It's something I see very consistently, and I go over it with my clients a lot too, especially if I notice that they're doing it consistently. That's a red flag, and we have to address it right then and there. You never ever guys want to arch or round your back, or you never want to round your back, when you're picking up weight, especially if it's heavy. Even if it's lightweight, guys, you still want to practice proper form. Even just getting weight up to pick it up, doesn't matter if it's light, especially if it's heavy. You want to make sure that you don't round your back. So in the video I demonstrate how not to pick up a weight, and then I'm showing you how to pick up a weight. If you notice that the way I'm showing you how to pick up a weight, it's with a completely straight back. My back is straight, there's no roundness in my back. It's not bending over. It's not gonna take me on a trip to Snap City. So you want to make sure that your back is healthy. You don't want to slip a disc, you don't want to pull something, you don't want to get hurt, guys. Please be careful. So let me take you through exactly what you're supposed to do. What you want to do is first get a slight bend in the knees. You want to bend the knees however much you need to get that weight up. Whether the weight is low or the weight is set high, wherever it is, get a slight bend in the knees and get a wide stance. You want to make sure that the stance, it doesn't have to be crazy wide, but just so that it's not short. That's going to do, it's going to put you in the best position to counterbalance anything you're picking up, and that you're not going to fall or lose balance as you pick that weight up. Once you're there, drop the hips down and back to make sure that your hips are going to be stable and that you're going to keep yourself balanced as well. And then just keeping your chest up. Careful not to arch your back too much either, because too much of an arch in the lumbar region of the spine can also lead to injury and send you to Snap City. So you want to make sure you have a straight back. That's going to be the best way to pick up any weights, regardless if it's light, regardless of if it's heavy. Please guys, practice proper form, even if we're just lifting up a little bit of weight. The next thing that I want to talk about, guys, is how to grip a weight that you're carrying. This could be dumbbells, it can be barbells, it can be kettlebells, whatever it is that you're gripping. You want to make sure that you have a proper grip. So this is going to be a little bit different from the wrist position. It's going to be more of how you're holding it with your hands. So not how your wrist is placed, but how your hand is holding onto the weight. So you want to make sure, guys, that you don't grip it with your fingertips. You want to make sure that you grip it with your entire hand. If you ever catch yourself, whether you're doing a pull-up, a row, any type of pressing movement, anything at all, anything that you're gripping, a barbell, a weight, any type of weight, you want to make sure that you have a full-on grip in that bar. Athlete Next made a video about this as well. It is so crucial to make sure that you have a full grip on it, because once you start putting it out to the fingertips, especially the ring finger and the middle finger, those are going to be really detrimental to the elbow. It can lead to a lot of elbow pain. It can lead to a lot of things that you really just don't want. So in order to prevent that, go ahead and get a solid full grip on it. Make sure it's deep into your hand. You do not have any type of gap in your palm at all. That palm is completely sealed with the bar or the weight and your fingers. If there's any type of show of your palm with the weight, you're not gripping it completely right. So making sure that you have the proper grip is going to make all the difference in ensuring you good health with your elbow, with your wrist, just making sure that you're performing the movement right. And also what that's going to do too, it's going to force you to strengthen up your forearms. I know a lot of people miss forearms and they don't train them directly, but even though your forearms come into play in almost every single movement you do, you want to make sure you still directly train your forearms. Keeping your forearms strong is going to have so much carryover into so many different lifts, whether that's a pushing movement or a pulling movement, and even sometimes with your leg movement, say with a squat or a deadlift, whatever the case is, it's going to come into play so much that you don't even realize how important your forearm strength is to your entire training program. The last thing, guys, that I want to talk about, and it's definitely not the least, is how to retract your scapula. So here I'm showing you guys how to retract your scapula. Your scapula is a bone in your back that's in your upper back region, and it's kind of like behind the shoulders almost, and the scapula is what you want to have retracted. Retracted pretty much is referring to it being locked into place. In simple terms, the best way to do that is to shrug your shoulders up, shrug them back, and then bring them back down. Instantly you should feel like a locking sensation in your back. That's how you know you did it right. And you want to make sure that you continue to press your shoulders back to keep that tightness in your back. This is stuff that you want to do in a shoulder press. These are things you want to do in a lateral raise, a bench press. Honestly, in so many different types of movements, you're gonna need to have that positioning of the scapula. This is one of the more important ones. Now, these are all important, but just because this has so much to do with keeping your shoulder healthy and ensuring the stability throughout different movements, without that retraction, without that tightness in your back, you're going to lose so much stability, and you're going to put your shoulder joint into a much more increased position for injury that it's just not worth it, guys. Practice form. If you have to dial the weight back a little bit to ensure that you have that stability and that tightness in that back, then drop the weight, drop the ego, make sure that you're lifting safe, because ultimately, guys, it's a lifestyle. We want to make sure that we're in this for the long term. We don't want to live for a little while and then next thing you know, in a year, 6 months, maybe even a month, we're not able to lift, or we have to take time off because we didn't practice good form and we got injured. So now we had to focus on rehab rather than prevention. I always say, guys, fitness is all about prevention, making it a lifestyle, but preventing the things that you don't want. You don't want injury, you don't want illnesses, you don't want diseases. Keeping yourself healthy in the gym and even outside of the gym too, because nutrition plays a role in it. But for the sake of this video, keeping yourself healthy and safe in the gym, practicing proper form with these proper fundamentals of training that I put together for you guys is going to be crucial. Now, as a disclaimer at the end, there's many things that you want to focus on while training. For instance, keeping your head straight, keeping a neutral spine, not arching the back too much. Now, there's so many different things that come into play when training that you want to be careful of, but these, in my opinion, are going to be the most important just because of the position that you guys put yourself in when these aren't executed properly. So make sure you guys practice this. If you guys have to dial the weight back, definitely dial the weight back. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely leave it down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. Share this with someone that you feel is really gonna you think is really gonna benefit from hearing this information. I'm trying to make sure that I provide the best content for you guys, to make sure that it's quality content. So definitely get the word out. So like I said, if you guys have any video suggestions, leave them down in the comment section below. I'll be sure to get a video out for whatever you guys want. I have some training videos that I'm looking to put together, so hopefully that'll be coming soon. I'm also going to be uploading another video of a review that I did for Pump Chasers gear. So I got a few things from Pump Chasers. Shout out to Chris Jones. I'm going to be doing a review on that as well, guys, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, guys, see you next time.